You ever run a handgun so hard it feels like it should choke, but instead it just keeps cycling like a machine? Or drop a wheel gun straight into the mud, shake it off once, and still stack rounds in the 10 ring at 15 yards? That's what we're talking about today. 6 firearms that simply refuse to jam. Doesn't matter how rough you run them. Doesn't matter how ugly the conditions get. These aren't safe queens. These aren't Instagram showpieces. These are the workhorses, the battle-hardened tools, the kind of guns that chew through sand and spit out brass on tempo like a metronome. If reliability is the one factor you're betting your life on, stick with me, because the first entry on this list might surprise you. Number 6. The Glock 17. If there's one pistol that flat out refuses to quit, it's this one. Back in 1982, when Gaston Glock introduced his polymer frame sidearm, a whole lot of folks dismissed it. They said, "Plastic guns? That'll never last." Well, 40 years later, no one is laughing anymore. The Glock 17 has become the definition of duty pistol. Military, law enforcement, and serious armed citizens across the globe still trust it as their everyday sidearm. A brand new Gen 5 Glock 17 runs about $539. What you get for that price is a striker-fired pistol with a design stripped down to the essentials. A cold hammer-forged barrel, measuring 4.49 inches, a wedge-profile slide built to shed debris, and only 34 internal parts total. That's the brilliance. Less complexity means fewer weak points. The polymer frame has just enough flex to eat recoil, and it won't rust or swell from sweat, rain, or salt water. The safe action trigger system packs in 3 passive safeties, so there are no external levers waiting to snag or fail under stress. And when it comes to torture tests, the Glock 17 has survived them all, dragged through mud pits, submerged in salt water, run through 20,000 round marathons with zero lubrication. Time after time, it just keeps cycling. Bottom line, Glock doesn't build guns for the guy on a square range. They build them for the worst shooter, in the worst environment, on the worst day. If you want flashy, go somewhere else. If you want a pistol that almost dares you to mistreat it, the Glock 17 is the one. Number 5. The Ruger GP100. This revolver doesn't care about looks. It doesn't care about trends. It was never built to win beauty contests. It was built to survive punishment that makes most semi-autos choke. Current stainless 7-shot models run about $1,129, but if you're sharp, you can still snag a 6-shot blued classic for closer to $850. What you're holding there is 40 ounces of double-action iron, a tank chambered in .357 Magnum. Here's what sets it apart. Most revolvers use a 2-point lockup on the cylinder. Ruger said no thanks and gave the GP100 a triple lockup: front, rear, and bottom latch. That means you can run full-house Magnum loads all day long without throwing the timing out of whack. The frame is a single block of investment cast stainless steel. No side plate, no flex, no excuses. And people have taken this wheel gun to extremes. 35,000 rounds of .357 Magnum, and the action still feels tight. Still feels crisp. This isn't just a revolver. It's closer to a medieval warhammer that happens to chamber cartridges. Number 4. The Romanian WASR-10. If reliability was a dive bar, this rifle would be the loud guy in a tracksuit knocking over chairs, yelling at the bartender, and still getting served first. It's rough around the edges. It's a 7.62 by 39 AKM pattern rifle. Street price hovers around $1,070. And no, this thing isn't winning any beauty pageants. Candid iron sights? Check furniture that looks like it was stripped off a shipping pallet? Absolutely. But here's the deal. None of that matters, because the WASR-10 was built with one purpose: to run, and to keep running no matter what you dump it in. The tolerances inside are wide on purpose. That slop means sand, snow, and mud all shake free instead of choking the action. The long-stroke gas piston is tuned heavy, overgassed by design, because surplus ammo is unpredictable. This rifle drives the bolt hard, so even weak loads cycle like champs. The stamped 1mm receiver flexes just enough to soak up abuse without breaking. Field stripping? 9 seconds flat. Sure, accuracy is combat grade, not match grade. But what you get in return is simple. Pure, unfiltered reliability. Number 3. Heckler and Koch VP9. Heckler and Koch has built their entire reputation around 2 words: no compromise. The VP9 proves that motto wasn't just a marketing line, and for once, you don't need to cross the 4-figure threshold to get it. Street price usually lands right around $700. What you're holding is a duty-grade 9mm pistol, 17-round magazine, engineered to fight like a service gun, but refined enough to compete on the range. The slide is machined from proprietary German steel. The barrel is cold hammer forged with polygonal rifling. The whole pistol is protected with a hostile environment nitride finish. This thing was built to run when everything else is falling apart. But the real secret sauce here? Ergonomics. Heckler and Koch gives you 9 different grip panels, 3 back straps, 6 side inserts. You can mix and match until the pistol feels like an extension of your hand. And the trigger? 5.4 pounds on paper, but it breaks like a tuned competition setup. Crisp, predictable, zero grit. One German police unit ran over 80,000 rounds through a single VP9 training gun. Never swap the barrel. That's the level of endurance we're talking about here. Number 2. SIG Sauer P226 MK25. When Naval Special Warfare adopts a pistol, they don't just pick something off the shelf. They drown it. They drag it through mud and sand. They run it suppressed, then unsuppressed. Anything that fails gets tossed. The SIG Sauer P226 MK25 is the civilian legal twin of the Navy SEAL sidearm, and it is every bit as serious as its lineage suggests. MSRP comes in around $999, but what you're paying for is a full-size alloy-framed sidearm that earned its place the hard way. Back in the 1980s, during the brutal XM9 trials, the P226 was one of the only pistols that could hang. Since then, it has survived decades of saltwater ops around the globe. The slide is stainless steel with a nitron finish. The internals? Phosphate-coated to fight off corrosion. Inside, you've got a locked breech, tilting barrel system with precision-cut lugs locking it in place. This pistol has a documented service life that's flat-out insane. SEAL armorers have reported P226 that cleared 3 million rounds. Yes, million, with routine barrel swaps every 25,000. It will cycle 147 grain subsonic loads suppressed. Then it'll turn around and run 115 grain NATO ball. No recoil spring change. No tuning required. This isn't a showpiece pistol for the safe. This is combat steel, tested by the toughest community in U.S. Special Operations, and proven to outlast just about anything else in its class. Number 1. CZ-SP-01. When the design team at CZUB in Brno, Czech Republic set out to build the SP-01, they weren't chasing flash. They weren't worried about trends or lightweight polymer frames. They wanted a sidearm that feels welded to your grip. A service pistol with the bones of a warhorse. The MSRP runs close to $949, but real street price usually settles around $800. What that buys you is a true steel frame 9mm. Low-riding slide that runs on internal rails. 4.6-inch cold hammer forged barrel that locks up like a vault. This pistol ships with an 18-round magazine, and at 40.5 ounces, it's not shy about weight. But here's why that matters. Competition shooters love the SP1 because mass equals control. That full-length dust cover and steel frame soak up recoil until muzzle flip practically disappears. And toughness? That's where this pistol earns its reputation. Pew Pew Tactical documented 50,000 rounds over 5 years through a single SP1, 2 failures, a slide stop at the 50,000 mark, and a firing pin retaining pin. That's it. This pistol doesn't care if it's dirty, dry, or running a marathon match weekend. It's not a range princess. It's not trendy. It's not featherweight. It's a purpose-built combat handgun designed to chew through cases of ammo and keep running when conditions get ugly. If you're looking for a sidearm that laughs at neglect and thrives on volume, the CZ-SP-1 should be at the top of your list. So there it is, 6 sidearms that refuse to choke. Not showpieces, not collector-safe queens, but machines built to eat grit, survive neglect, and keep cycling long after most pistols tap out. Now it's your turn. What's the most reliable handgun you've ever owned? is it one of these 6 or something different? Drop your go-to never fails pistol in the comments. If you got value out of this breakdown, hit that like button, share it with your crew, and subscribe for more no-nonsense firearm reviews, history, and hard data. Until next time, keep your mags loaded, keep your bores clean, and always confirm your zero. This is Firearm Zone, where reliability isn't rare, it's required.